slide this.
Where you want this over?
I'll take it right here. I got my little do-rag on.
I see you chilling.
Now, Facebook better not be acting now. We getting our cocktails together. Come slide over here, son.
All right.
So they can see you. We just did our little general release. I have a special guest for you guys.
Hey, how y'all doing?
They coming in, Craig.
They coming in. They coming in. I think the lighting is good. I got my do-rag on, okay?
All right, and I got my hat on.
Right.
I'm rocking this way.
So we getting our cocktails together, and then we're gonna have our conversation. Hey girl, hey. Hey boy, hey. Hey girl, hey. Hey boy, hey. Did you want to look on there, or you just want to?
What's your name on?
Craig Stewart. I don't think it's not. It used to be under Craig the Writer Stewart, but it's just Craig Stewart now. This is Dree.
Hey, everybody, what's going on?
And you know who I am. Good day thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers.
Okay.
I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is the Facebook Live version of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. We have a very special guest. I am so excited. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
They is gonna go up when
What? You about to lose your mind. I need you to go ahead and hit the share button. They say, hey, fellas.
they is
Go ahead and hit the share button,
They is
please.
gonna go
Please hit the share button. Because you're about to lose your mind. I'm just waiting for my cocktail. Are we all drinking Grand Marnier?
Here you go.
Oh,
I got the light going on. The light.
oh okay. Nikki is our
How you doing, babe?
oh. Nikki is our mixologist for the night.
She is quite lovely.
Keon, don't let me forget to hit the record, because we're going to record this as a podcast. Thank you. I got my Grand Marnier neat.
Thank you, ma'am.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah. That's all right.
Take the edge
I
off.
had to turn my
Yes.
phone down because you know it'd be echoing.
Yes, indeed. Nikki, you ready?
Go for it. I'm ready. I'm sorry.
All right, so listen. This is Dree, and this is my very first time meeting him. I have never met him before in my life. Keon asked me some time ago about doing a podcast with Dree. And I was like, well, why? What is so interesting and what is so fascinating about Dree? But before I say this, I want to first start by saying I just want us to have a regular conversation. I'm only asking you things that I really want to know. I'm going to be as respectful and as I possibly can.
All right.
If there's anything that you don't want to answer, you can always say that I'm not comfortable with that. So don't feel like you have to. But Keon, you follow Dree on Instagram?
Yeah.
They follow each other on Instagram, but Keon follows him on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And Keon was like, I want you to do a conversation with this guy that I follow on Instagram. So Keon pulled up the pictures. And I was like, okay, what about him? And Keon was like, bitch, that's a woman, but he's a trans man. I said, you a fucking lie. And so we go all the way down to the beginning of your Instagram story. I think there were some pictures like before you transitioned, maybe. I think it was.
I thought I got rid of all that.
So
it was
at the time you did it.
You hadn't at the time. We had gone all the way to the end of it. And that's the thing about social media. You never know who's looking at it, what you can find. And so, yes. And so we went and we scrolled and we scrolled. I said, bitch, this is a woman. Oh my God. And Keanu was like, bitch, I would date him. So.
Hey, okay. I'll take that as a
yes.
All right.
So of course, just now when you called to get through the gate and to get in here so that we could record this, I heard you talking to Keon through the phone.
And y'all laughing.
We were talking about something else, but then when I realized it was you, I was like, and then Keon said, bitch, he sound like a man.
I guess the gate proved it to you.
Yes.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming. So let me ask you from the beginning. So you even got hands like a man. Your hands look more masculine than mine. Like people always say to me, you don't look like you've done a day of work.
Yeah,
I've always said I could be like a hand model because my hands are really soft. But you look like you actually have done some things.
Yeah, these are my tools. I actually want to get some insurance on my hands. My granddad told me to do so. So yeah, I work good with my hands.
Okay, so wait, where are you from? Let's talk about this first. Please hit the share button if you have not already.
All right. Well, I'm from Decatur and Lithonia.
Okay.
I grew up on Eastwood Drive. If y'all don't know, that's like County Road, Glenwood area. But majority of my life is spent in Lithonia, L-Town, for the people that know that. Graduated from Lithonia High School. I was number 7 out of top 10. I was smart. I did gymnastics for a little while. Mm-hmm. And after like my senior year, man, that's when I really just began to do me.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, do you identify as a trans person, or do you identify as gay, or do you identify as just male? Like
male.
But
I still respect transmen because we are still family.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And so did you notice anything? And I'm only asking this because, again, the trans experience is very different from the gay experience. And you guys know that I'm the showrunner for the Queen's Supreme Court. And I heard you saying to Keon that you weren't familiar with the show. But
yeah,
the show is, the host of the show is T.S. Madison, which is a famous trans woman, right?
Yeah, Keon was telling me about it.
Very open about her journey. She started off doing pornography, but now she's a social media influencer, right? Okay. So I can only my knowledge of it is only things that I've learned from her. So I know that it's different for every single person. So did you know as a kid, as a young girl, that you felt differently?
Well, I knew I felt differently, yes, of course.
Okay.
But I didn't know that I could be myself to the fullest until my college days.
Okay.
With that being said, I went to Georgia State. I was a studio art major. Mm-hmm. And I got exposed to a lot of people downtown. So I moved out of my mom's house, and I was in the condos, the commons, for the people that know that. And I was exposed to Atlanta. And you know, Atlanta is the place to be when it comes to the whole gay community. It's a lot of people here. A lot of different skin tones, a lot of different things.
It is the Mecca now.
Yeah,
even bigger than San Francisco.
Definitely, man. So with that being said, I just networked with a lot of people that were deep in the community, and just like seeing them, I didn't really get a close contact with anybody like that, but just doing research on my own and just being around. Period. It just exposed me to like, man, I could really just be me.
And so I know your girlfriend doesn't want to be on the camera, but my question is. You can just nod your head or something. So do you identify as a lesbian or do you identify as a heterosexual woman? And the reason that I ask is because before I got an assistant, I used to go to the FedEx to ship off my orders. Like when people ordered books, I would sign them and ship them out.
All right. And
one of the clerks at the FedEx, she said to me, my husband is a trans man. And she was actually supposed to come and do this podcast. She and her husband were supposed to come.
Okay.
Because of scheduling, it never happened. So when Keon said to me, I have somebody that can come and do this podcast. And I said, well, reach out to him and see if he'll come and do it.
All right.
And one of the questions that I wanted to ask her, because I would have never, and she showed me a picture of her husband and everything. So the question that I wanted to ask her that I never got a chance to ask, I'm going to ask you. Did you identify as a lesbian before you met him? Or did you identify, or do you even not even identify as... This is your first. Yes. So you had always dated men. Yes. I didn't pull her into the interview. She said I'm just said I'm gonna sit here and just listen.
I already know where I'm finna go.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so back to you. So do you have siblings?
Other people, yeah.
Okay. So
same dad.
Okay, same dad. So how did your family respond? Because again, we know so much about trans women. We have Laverne Cox, we have Caitlyn Jenner, just all the Janet Mock, Amaya Scott, but we don't really hear of the trans male story. Now, I'm a fan of Queen Sugar.
I've seen a little bit of that.
There's a trans actor. He's actually a trans man, a real life trans man.
Okay.
And he is trans on the show. He's a cop. And if those of you who watch Queen Sugar, he was a police officer, and he was in the storyline with Ralph Angel. And they brought it out in the show. But we don't really know much about that story. So what was your family like? Did they accept you? Did you have to have a conversation with them at some point?
Well, my family's kind of small, you know what I'm saying, for what it's worth. There were people who I didn't care about having that conversation with. And there were those who I had to get prepared for. my mom took it kind of well. She was one of the ones I thought would give me hell, but she had already known. And that made it kind of easier to just kind of do me.
So when you say she already knew, do you think she knew that you were trans, or do you think she knew that she thought you were lesbian?
She knew I was lesbian. She knew that I was never going to be with a man ever.
So was that a part of your transition? Like, did you identify at one point as a lesbian before?
I was straight, just stud. I've
Okay.
never been with a man before.
Okay. So you're a golden gay, like me. Well, you don't identify as gay, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
Right. Okay.
But I love women, man. I'm just happy to be doing me.
Yeah.
If anything, as far as back to the whole family thing, my dad, he really gave me a big challenge. Me and him right now, we're not really getting along. We don't have a relationship. And it doesn't bother me. It actually makes me stronger. I went through the whole storm with him, and not to just put him out there, but hey, I'm still doing me, Dad. I still love you at the end of the day, and I know you're going to see me. I know you will. And I'm here. I always got open arms, man.
So did you, with trans women, a part of the transition is getting breast, the hormones to try to get the natural curves of a woman, to change the voice. Your voice is really low. Did you do something to do that? Was it because you know you can do like vocal exercises to change the.
No, I ain't never did nothing like
So
that.
your voice was like this when you were living life as a woman?
No, I think it was kind of girly back then.
So how the hell did your voice get so low?
Testosterone.
So you use testosterone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I started my HRT hormonal replacement therapy. It's been about 2 years for me now. Early in my process, like I got rid of the whole period thing. I was real happy about that shit.
So the testosterone. No, you can curse here. We say black shit, white shit,
all that shit, man.
So the testosterone,
it plays a big part in your whole transition, physically, mentally, like the whole shebang.
Now, how do you figure out where to go and get testosterone? And this is a question that I always ask trans women. Like, how do you know where to go and get your breasts done, or to go and get silicone for those that do the silicone thing? Gotcha. How did you know?
Research. Just the urge to know. You know what I'm saying? Not just asking other people. And it's good to give advice and all that whole thing, but just knowing what you want to do for one. And taking the time to research. Like, I had a good-ass friend who gave me a referral as far as my insurance. So that was my first step as far as knowing where to get the testosterone from. I had to go through like a lot of tests. I had to go through a couple of evaluations, but that's all a part of it because they want to make sure that you know what you're doing.
Right. So it's like a psychological type of exam?
All in the whole shebang.
So one of the questions asked is HRT more affordable now? Because it seems like it's becoming more and more common for people to be able to do it.
Because you mentioned you had insurance, though. Did your insurance pay for part of that?
Yes. In the beginning, I didn't have insurance. And I really wasn't trying to just go full throttle with it because I know it's always resources out there. So once I linked up with my friend, he gave me advice on where to go. And I dug deep, Googled like the best insurance out there. And I'm with Kaiser for anybody that wants to know. Kaiser is one of the best hospitals out there ever, man. They offer like the best top coverage you can ask for. They don't discriminate when it comes to the doctors. They actually show a sense of concern when it comes to your health. It's not like they're just doing their job. It feels like home. And why I really cracked down on trying to get my testosterone was avoiding the whole tax penalty. Because I kept hearing people say, well, you better get some insurance, man. You better stop playing around. Better go get some. So that's when I said, you know what, man? You want to do this? Got to go ahead and make it happen.
So from your perspective, would you say that being trans is the way that you were born?
No.
How would you describe it?
I was born in the flesh of female, but my mind was all man.
Okay.
You know, I dated a guy, and
as a woman, you dated a guy.
Yeah, I tried it. I was just trying to see, you know, if that's really what I was supposed to do.
Right.
Just to make everything like Gucci at the time. And long story short, like, buddy told me he cheated on me. I didn't feel nothing. I'm like, well, was it good? And I was in high school, Lafayette High School, man. I think I was in like 10th grade, and we was at Panthersville, driver's education. This nigga tried to put the game on me, so me being me, trying to just please everybody and just try to. I was having conflicts with myself because I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I know I wasn't really digging niggas because when I look at them, I look at like they watches and their shoes. Like, damn, that's fly. I need to get that. Or like, damn, he get that girl over there. I need to go on it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Overall, so
people don't usually clock you.
what you mean clock?
They don't clock you. They don't usually look at you and be like, oh yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying? Because like,
Well, try to figure me out.
yeah, they don't. I would have never guessed you because like there are times, and this is, and I'm being very respectful to trans women that might be watching, but like sometimes you can look at trans women and be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I would not have a clue about you.
Well, that's good.
So are there people that sometimes be like, you know, the kind of,
I ain't ran into them.
no?
If they is out there, it don't matter.
So, okay, let's take a real nasty left turn.
All right.
How did you and this lady over here meet? And I'm not going to make you talk because I know you didn't even want to talk in the first place.
All right.
How did you two meet?
I was bar backing at TGI Fridays, Stonecrest Mall, and I had been working there for a while, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. But it was just this one girl that come in there, man. I used to get so happy going to work because I'd be like,
And this was her.
I hope that bitch there, man. I hope she there. And sure enough, when I get there, I clock in, she be right where
So
she's
were you
supposed
watching him too?
to. I don't think she was.
She said no.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you two been together?
It's been 3 years.
3 years. So how long did it take for you to tell her that you were a trans man?
Okay.
And how long do you typically, before her, how long did you typically wait before you told somebody?
Well, when I met Tootie, I was a stud.
Okay.
But
So he looked like a woman at that time to you.
Not really.
So he still didn't
I
look like a
still
woman
didn't.
even then.
I didn't see how she didn't see that because I'm like, you don't see my titties or nothing.
You
like
know why?
that, man?
Because
You see that?
and because I'm gonna tell you this, I've had trans women say to me, because you, the trans person, can always see the original body.
Yeah,
You can always see no matter how many alterations a
it's
trans.
like radar.
It's like right. You
Yeah.
could like what I've described, and Madison and I have had this conversation many times before too. No matter how many wigs you put on, no matter how much makeup you put on, no matter how big your breasts are, they can always see the boy. And so, in the same with you, you could always still see the girl. So you didn't understand why she couldn't see it, but
Yeah,
she didn't see it.
Yeah, she didn't see it.
So go ahead. So how long did it take before you told her?
When she met me, I was just a stud, just a regular stud, and I had the pleasure of taking my journey with her. So this is new to her. This is new to me. I have not been with any other female that has been along my transition. She's the only woman. She's the only one.
So when did you tell? Oh, so you were a stud.
Yeah.
Okay, so she
And
was there as you went through the process.
My whole process,
Got it.
yeah.
So,
Tootie.
he
And I
said,
also call
he
her
said it,
booty.
not me. Huh?
I also call her booty.
Oh, but listen, we got that release form. So listen, Tootie, don't be trying to sue me, okay? Because he said your name, not me. But no, so I wanted to know. So this was the first quote unquote woman that you've been with, because at the time you were a stud. So at the time you were identified as a lesbian. Was it something you had to wrap your brain around? Or was it something? Had you ever fantasized about being with a woman? You didn't second guess
I never
it.
thought I would be with a woman, but it happened.
Really? She blushing and carrying on.
I
Really?
fell in love with his personality.
You fell in love with his personality. Well, that's what it is about. You're supposed to fall in love with the spirit, the heart of the person.
Right on.
Go
So
ahead.
I have a quick question.
This is
So
Nikki in the background. That's my
Hey,
sister.
y'all.
Go ahead.
So I know you said you don't talk to your father, but since you guys have been together, have you guys lost friends, lost family members who just couldn't seem to wrap their head around it?
If anything, it's been a little bit of both. I've lost and I've gained. But I pay more attention to what I've gained because it's like if you ain't here now, you didn't matter. So I don't know if I'm answering the question right.
No, you did.
What about you, Miss? I'm not here, but I'm here.
All my people are good. They had a little rough problem,
A little rough patch in the beginning. Yeah. Are you from here? Okay.
I'm from East Atlanta.
Okay. Okay. We might need to get her a release form.
Your sweet ass on the phone.
We might need to get her a release form. Okay. So you mentioned titties earlier.
Yeah.
So with trans women, typically what they do is they go ahead and get the breast. Most trans women, and I'm explaining this to people who are listening because they may not know, most trans women still have the genitalia down here because that's what makes them trans, right? Transsexual is when what's it called when you actually have the whole surgery? Not cis. No, not cis. Cis is heterosexual. But okay, so listen. Have you thought about removing your breast, or have you done that?
I'm going to.
You're going to.
It's a date for December 4th.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, that's Jay-Z's birthday.
We're right around the corner.
So you ready?
I'm ready.
So you've researched your doctors and all of that kind of stuff?
Yes, Dr. Yeslov. He is with Atlanta Outpatient Center. A very approachable older man. Great reviews. Clean. You know, when you go to a hospital, you pay attention to a lot. Mm-hmm. I feel safe. Mm-hmm. I'm ready. So, yeah.
So how did you know? How did you know that you weren't lesbian and that you were male? How did you know that? Like, how do you differentiate between the two? You know what I'm saying? Because I had a trans woman say to me once, and this was just her experience. She said, "Craig, you know, when I think about it, she said, I didn't have to do all of this. Because I could have still been me. I would have still been me had I not done the transition." Mm-hmm. So how did you know? Because even with Madison, her experience, she's like, "No, Craig, I wanted titties. Like, I knew I wanted." She said, "I was a woman. I wanted to feel like a woman, and I needed the outside to match the inside." So how did you know? Because, see, I think that there are instances where there are people who begin the transition, but they hadn't really thought it all the way through, or really, it wasn't really their story. Because sometimes we can be influenced by our surroundings.
You right about that.
Because there have been stories about that as well. But how did you know that you were male?
I knew I was male because I felt bad that I couldn't really be who I was. Mm-hmm. I couldn't take my shirt off like I wanted to. I was doing modeling, runway. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even going to say who the guy was, but I was doing Urban Spice magazine event. And the guy came in, he was like a Jamaican type vibe going on, and I was supposed to rock his gear. Mm-hmm. And when he came through, he was like, "What is this?" Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, bro, damn.
Right.
And I said, wow, Dre, like you have to find a way to live that in the flesh as much as you can. I couldn't fight no other way. I didn't know what else to do except for to just go the whole throttle with myself. Mm-hmm. I feel more complete. Mm-hmm. Like 2 years back, man, I was just so depressed. I couldn't go swimming like I wanted to. I know I'm a man, but it's just parts that ain't ready yet.
Right.
That's just something he working on, and he ready because December 4th is baking. You see what I'm saying? I am in the. Yes. I'm being molded. You know, right. I feel like I got a higher purpose.
And so again, I'm just asking. You can tell me that's too much. Right. So you have the breast removed, but then do you still will you feel complete at that point without having an actual penis? Or do you feel like
surgery?
Yes.
Do you feel that's like not a priority in my
That's not a priority.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
It's not nothing that I'm like I have to have right now. I have thought about it. Okay. I always do my research. I'm always Google. She could tell you. I always try to find an answer to anything. I would say it's a little harsh.
Yeah.
I give kudos to those who have decided to do that. I actually have a buddy, Kendall, who has decided.
He's just dropping people's names.
Go ahead. I got love. You know, I don't have nothing to hide. I feel like I got to give all of y'all me. Uh-huh. But Kendall, great guy, man. He's about to go through his bottom surgery, and I'm going to be there for him. And whenever that time comes, if I do want to solidify that, then why not? But right now, I'm good. We can go. If you want to go bigger, we can go bigger.
He's looking at her.
Yes.
So, do you So, before her, did you specifically go after lesbian women? Or were you interested, not go after, but were you interested in lesbian women? Were you interested in heterosexual women? Or just, it didn't matter?
Well,
and is there a difference?
At that time, it didn't matter. What I found myself more so attracting was straight girls. Off rip.
I believe it.
Off rip. And then come to find out they would be jiving me, man. They would
When
be
you told
already
them.
done dab with other girls. And
You know, I've said that many times before. You know, a lot of you straight women, you think
I
you
ain't go
fooling me.
get.
Let
Y'all
me tell you
remember that
something.
growing up.
You're not fooling me. Because I know a lot of you women didn't tasted the coochie in college.
Got a little feel or something.
Do it again. Right.
Know what's going on.
Right.
But yeah, either way, I just found myself always attracting straight girls. And with that being said, they had their own issues where they could not be that to me. They could not be them. I'm not going to put nobody down.
Right.
It's just, I guess, with timing and their whole lifestyle and their mentality, they could not be their best to be with me.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, have you ever found yourself attracted to a trans woman? The reason I asked that is because I remember years ago I was at a club, and I remember there was a lesbian, a stud, and she was all up on the stage after this transgender, or this, they call it a drag show, but she was really a trans woman.
Okay.
Performing. And when I say she was all up between this lady's legs, and she was up in between the trans woman's legs. And I know that there are instances where there are trans men that are attracted to trans women. Have you ever found yourself attracted? But see, I know once you get down there, they still got a penis.
Different.
So
Now,
that's
see
different.
what I had happen when I first found out about Amaya Scott.
Mm-hmm. That's this person from Star, star on the show Star.
Yeah, she's great, man. Like, just going on Instagram and hashtagging like our community, it led me to her page, and I was intrigued by her story because everybody kept putting up his old picture from high school. So once I saw what she looked like, I'm like, damn, she fine as shit. But once I found out, like, yeah, she's still part of the family. No. So, no.
So you've never been attracted to a trans woman?
They look great. Whoever does your job, your whole surgery job, you look great. And it's a few of them that don't look great, but I won't. I won't be because I still have love for people just genuinely. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type to not talk to somebody because of how you look or what you got going on. That's not me at all. But I'm not finna date you.
Now
you looking good as shit, but
now I'm gonna tell you, like, you really look like a man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not know. Now, I would think that if I saw, because you got them pretty eyes, them lashes, I would think you were a gay man if I saw you.
No.
Huh?
And I said, no. I can have another drink? Please.
Can we get Dre another drink, please?
Please.
You want more ice?
So there is a question, and they would like to
Okay.
know, do you guys have
All right.
kids? Are you thinking about kids? What is the plan?
Okay, with kids, yes, I love kids. I want kids. We have so many nieces and nephews and god kids just coming.
Do you already have kids? No.
She fresh.
Oh.
She is so fresh.
So now how would you guys go about the process of that? Because I've had a conversation with a gay man. I did a podcast called Single Gay Father. And he talked about the process. And they used, I can't remember what the instrument is called, but they used something where he would ejaculate into that and it would insert into the woman and release.
Syringe. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on what your style is. Me and Booty, we talked about it a few times when we first got together. And then the plans are still there. We were going to use my dad.
Oh.
That was the plan. But after...
So you would never use your eggs and
We was going to use my dad's sperm.
uh-huh.
And we, tried to do some research. She asked me, like, the whole hospital part about what building to go to. Just, I don't know all that just yet. How they do it scientifically, babe, I don't know, but we will get there.
Right.
So
So have you guys considered being married?
Yes.
Okay.
We wear rings and
I see the ring. Yeah,
Thank you.
I see the ring.
Yep.
Are there any other questions in here?
I hope I'm not lame and boring.
No, they interested. they watch.
They definitely interested.
All right.
Keon, you don't have any questions?
Well, let me say this. So I've been following you for a very, very, very long time.
I
So
see
I-
you piercing.
Yeah, I met the stud version of you on Instagram, but I never reached out to you.
All right.
So our time first, I knew when y'all first got together, when y'all started dating, because he was on the same path as me at first.
Oh, okay. So Keon was going to be married, and
Yeah.
Right. What I'm just trying to let them know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but yeah, y'all was on the same time frame as me. So I was just watching, and I was like, oh my god. Then you start working with
Geek
Geek.
Boy. Yeah.
And we started working with Geek. I was just following y'all, and then I was like, wait, he's starting to transition. Wait, hold on, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Is that how you found out or figured it out?
Well, I found out because I met the stud version of Instagram.
Okay.
And then I just kept following you, and I was like, oh my god, he's transforming into a man. And then I saw you when you did have a beard, when you first started growing the beard. And I was just,
Oh, shebang.
I went in your
So
page
the
one day.
testosterone helps growing the beard.
Yep, and protein.
What you mean protein?
Protein.
What kind of protein?
Protein.
Protein.
Oh, that helps you grow the beard?
That's a joke.
I'm about to say.
But, yeah, being real, man. The testosterone does help, you know what I'm saying? But how can I put this? Your transition does play a part when it comes to DNA. Because there are a lot of people, a lot of my guys who have been transitioning way before me, and they don't have facial hair. And, you know, it ain't nothing like where somebody better than the next. It's just a part of your DNA.
I mean, it's just like a boy, an actual man who was born male.
We just growing into
Some don't
ourselves.
have
So let me ask you
facial
this.
hair.
Because I do know you've been doing tattoos for a long time. So with your business, did it affect your business in any type of way?
Definitely.
What, in a good way or a bad way?
Both ways. I try to look at stuff on both ways, both good and bad.
So your sales increased or your business increased?
I would say that my sales went down
Because
on both ends as far as my behalf and my clients' behalf. A lot of my clients, I mean, with the whole tattoo game, y'all artists, us entrepreneurs, we know how the whole industry goes. We have those clients who no call, no show. They don't want to pay, you know what I'm saying? Or they just wasting your time. I went through that whole shebang. On top, when I say from my behalf, I had got depressed. So I wasn't as devoted into my craft as I should have been. So therefore I lost clients because I wasn't as motivated. I was in the right environment when I was at Geek's Tattoo Shop, but my mind wasn't there.
Okay.
So
So going through your transition, how did they treat you? When I say how did they treat you, like did they sometimes slip up and say she or just different things? So you had to. How did you get that to be?
And are you offended by those pronouns?
I was in the beginning because I was just like, it was new to me. I knew what I was getting myself into, but just to actually be there in that moment when people like misgender me and stuff like that, it was crazy, man. I would be at work some days. I used to work at the bar at a place called the Bar and Grill over there on Evans Mill. You know what I'm talking about? So there was a customer that came in, a guy. He's new. He don't know me. You know, so first time it plays a part. And there was also an old client of mine from TGI Fridays. She came in and was just like putting me out there, man. Coming in, acknowledging me on some female type shit. And I'm like, I'm right here in front of this person right here. And you, number one, you still on that bullshit over here. And I got this. I'm trying to come up right here. So it just makes it awkward, man, when people misgender you. And sometimes, like, for the ones that know you or for the ones that knew me, and some of them still do it now, but I don't give a shit. Because I feel like that's them.
Right.
I don't have to argue with you or try to make you say my name right or address me as what you should see.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, because we had a guest on the show last night in the Queen's Supreme Court who is very androgynous. I don't know if you follow Lynn Spirit on Instagram.
No, I need to network a little more.
And physically he looks like a woman. Like full face makeup, lipstick,
All the
hair. But he says, no, I'm a man. And I'm like, huh? So like a lot of times, pull up Lynn Spirit. You can pull up Lynn Spirit on Instagram. And a lot of times, like you said, you want to identify people for what they look like. But that's not always how they want to be identified. So you really have to ask them, like, do you... Because when I was corresponding with Lynn's manager, I instinctively said, is she coming? What time is she? You know. And then I caught myself and I said, should I be saying he or she?
And that's good.
And then the manager said, oh, he doesn't matter. He doesn't care which one, you know. But he told us on the show last night that he identifies as a man.
Okay.
Even though he
It looks just like a woman.
right. Looked like somebody's Aunt Gloria.
Auntie and all.
Right. So did you change your name legally
No.
and all of that stuff? Okay.
I have not yet. I decided to do all of that once I get myself together as far as how I look.
On December 4th.
Yeah. I had got pulled over one time.
I was just going to ask you that. Has it ever been a problem?
Man,
like
let me
with
tell you what
presenting
was
your
going on,
ID.
man. I got
That's Lynn. That's Lynn's spirit.
I know who that is.
Yeah. So we did the show
That's
last
that
night.
person?
Yes. Yes.
How about I thought that was like a filter or something?
No.
That's his mouth. for
Yes,
real?
yes.
Oh. Well, I still love you at the end of the day. Continue to do you. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So you got pulled over by the cops.
I got pulled over on Covington Highway, man. It was like 8-something in the morning. I'm going out of my mama's house, and my light was out. My headlight was out. So I already know that. So I was bucking. But I also was smoking.
Yeah, I can smell it now.
All right. I don't have anything to hide. But,
The shade.
hey, ain't it? But anyway, man, this female cop pulled me over, and I'm like, oh, man, I got to get it together. So I said, just be cool, Dree. Whatever she hit you with, just whatever. So anyway, she took my license, my registration like they normally do, went to the car, and she came back and she said, this ain't you.
Because, okay, so I know the name. I didn't mean to stutter right there. Okay, so I know obviously the name on the license is not Dree, but do you look a lot different on your license than
Well,
you do?
I've just had a recent picture change.
Okay.
So I had to renew my license, but still on my old ID then, like I looked like a nigga, like I looked like me. But
Did you have a beard on the picture?
no.
Oh, okay.
And that's what made
Right.
me feel that way. I'm glad she ain't locked me up though.
So what did you say?
I was just like, I'm trans. What
And
else
what she
could I
say?
say? She took a pause and didn't give me no ticket.
Was this a black woman, white
A black woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And she said, I'm trans. And you said, I'm trans.
I just said I'm trans. I didn't try to like seem nervous about it because that's when they'll be like, oh yeah, they tripping and try to dig deeper into.
And then she probably looked at you closer and looked at the ID, I guess.
Because you still look the same, just with a beard. Like,
Does your license have male or female?
female.
Female. He hasn't switched any
I haven't
of that
changed my
over.
gender
Well, I
marker.
mean, I know, but I know that in certain places, depending on what you identify as, you can have that change, whether or not you have the surgery.
Is it that simple with your license? Do you know?
Well, I haven't done much research, but here in Georgia, when you go down to the DMV, you gonna put female. So until I go to the courthouse, they also have a waiver for those that want to change their name legally. You can go onto probably like the legal system, Georgia legal system or whatever, but you can change your name. It's like $100 waiver, and get it signed through the courts. I think you have to post like something in the newspaper. It's a little crazy.
yeah.
It's a little crazy, but
And see, we have a bunch of people watching on the Facebook Live. So there's a woman here out of New York. She has a daughter who's transitioning to male, and she was saying in the comments, and we've had conversation before, but she was saying in the comments that her daughter son
right.
is really interested in having the top surgery. And then there's a woman in here who says, this is amazing to me. I've never in my 50 years seen a woman transition to a man. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not something that I know it exists. You know what I'm saying? Most people in the community know it
It's been
exists.
around,
but you
now-
just don't hear about it.
right,
You
the
really
platform
don't.
is there.
Yes.
We're coming out with, we're doing movies, we're doing TV
Yeah.
series, you know what I'm saying? We're educating people, we're motivating folks, we're branding who we are.
And I think that even when you, to your point about television, I think it's important to see more trans men on television. I mentioned Queen Sugar earlier, but then we have shows now like Pose. I don't think they've even touched on the trans male story.
No.
They haven't. They have so much room to go. You know what I'm saying? It's just interesting. It really is fascinating.
Well, thank you. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank
Share
y'all
the video,
for-
please.
Please share the video. Don't.
But
take
yes,
it.
for those of you that just tuned in, this is Dree, trans man, meaning he was born female and transitioning to male.
Dree, do you have a Facebook?
Of course, everybody can follow me on Facebook at Tattoos by Dree.
Because I know that's your Instagram. You guys, I'm going to pin it in the comment box so you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you can't
I
pin
can't
anything.
pin-
I can pin
Well,
it.
you
But no,
can
put it
pin
in the comments and I'll pin it.
All right.
Go ahead.
How long long did it take for you to notice any physical differences once you started doing the HRT?
Instantly.
Really?
I would say like 3 months in, the period stopped for me.
3 months, you no longer got a menstrual
I
cycle.
didn't have
So I
no
need to
more
go get some
period.
testosterone to stop all that mess.
No.
Duly noted.
No. It's
I
it
peeped
just,
it
but
already.
still,
Oh.
everybody, you still have to pay attention to DNA, genetics, how your body is made. That's why it's best to do your research. Find your doctor that's for you. Don't just go off of randomness, man.
So, the HRT, is it intravenous? Is it like through needles, or is it pills, or?
Intramuscular.
Okay.
So I take my shot through my thigh, and there's also you can take it through your ass.
And is that something you have to do for the rest of your life? How
for
does
the
that?
rest of my life?
For the rest of your life. So, with.
But it's a choice.
Uh-huh.
Every transman is different, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on your life and your story. Like right now, I want to have this surgery. I want to see my body just go to its best and build itself. I want to be complete. So I want to keep my therapy going on.
So, if you were to stop taking the testosterone, what do you think would happen, or what would happen physically?
Well, there are the side effects. There are like the feeling like withdrawal.
Okay.
I don't know how it is for everybody else, but like for me, like I just had to miss a dosage on behalf of the doctor. It wasn't me missing my shot or anything because I've always been consistent. But with surgery coming about, I'm doing more tests, so some things have to be changed.
Altered, yeah.
But mood swings, nervousness at times, my dysphoria can kick in when I don't have a dosage. Like just the lack, I just feel kind of blah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So, if you were to stop taking, would your beard stop growing in, perhaps?
And that depends on the duration of how long you're off of your testosterone. Everybody different. You might have like a financial crisis where you can't keep up, but for some, like I have not been that long off.
Or without it, yeah.
Yeah, but like one time I had where I was off for a while, and I started to spot.
What does that mean? Oh, period.
Like the girls there had a little drops.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like I thought they were over with.
Look at her smiling. Why you smiling? Because I said, what does that mean when he said spot?
I'm the best of
I didn't
both
know it.
worlds.
There being a blonde.
No. Right. When he said spot, I was like, well, what does that mean? And I thought it meant something else. And that's, oh, you mean, right.
For the ladies out there, they know what that means.
Right.
I'm a real man. I'm going to pay attention to you. And either way, I'm the best of both worlds.
So
I
the
know
people
what's
want you to
going on.
stand up, like 5 people to say, could you stand up?
No, they just want to see if you got a print. No. Okay, so listen. So you said that you did stop taking the hormones or the testosterone for a period of time. Was it because financial? Because is it
For me, it was, yeah.
Because you didn't have insurance to pay for it.
I
at
had
that time.
insurance, but I couldn't keep up at the time.
Okay.
But now I'm back on because I'm about to have my surgery.
Right.
So is this something that you're going to be on for life? And if so, are there like any natural alternatives that you can?
That's a good question. Are there natural?
It is something I'm going to be on for the rest of my life. I want to start getting into boxing. So I know it's going to play a vital part of my health and get me to where I want to be as far as my masculinity and how I want to look.
So do you work out?
I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the goal after my surgery. I want to just get back into me, man. I want to get back into my modeling. I want to be able to go on the runway topless now and just really express myself.
Right. Do you think it will feel odd to you the first time you go without a shirt on?
I'm ready. It ain't going to feel
It's not going to feel odd?
No, I see it. I just need to, I'm ready for the sun to just be warm on my skin. That's how I feel.
What you say?
You too ready.
I ain't got no other choice but to be.
I have another question. How old are you? Because you seem, for some people, it takes a long time for them to get really comfortable in who they are. And you seem to have already.
You think I'm there?
I mean, you seem like you're already there, like to not care anymore what people say or what they think. And even if I think it takes a lot for people, whether they're stepping out on a dream, whether they're going to be, if they're lesbian, bisexual, it just takes a lot for people to stand in their truth.
It has taken a lot. Well, life has been hard. Life has been harder for me now that I'm actually living the best of my life. Now, when I was living as a female, my life was still great. I have not had no complaints whatsoever, never. But I just knew that it was more of me to come out. So I'm 28.
He's 28.
I'm 28 years old in the flesh.
Okay, let me ask you this, because, like, for example, like with trans women, and again, that's my only reference point. When trans women do estrogen, to, of course, like I said, to soften the body and to, to give them the female curves and that kind of thing, the consequence of that is that the testicles crystallize. And sometimes,
I bet they just,
right.
Ooh.
Right. Because, of course, estrogen is for a woman. So if a trans woman is using estrogen,
everything
it's really
kind of reverses.
It reverses. So is there some sort of a, I guess, consequence of doing testosterone for women?
Yes. Too much what stood out to me was liver cancer. Now, if you want to get more
from taking
testosterone. Now, there are side effects from taking this period. You know what I'm saying? It's a risk to everything.
And you said it's liver cancer.
Liver cancer. That's one of the risks. One. It's a lot more. Right now, that was the one that stood out to me the most. I don't know what it was, but the Lord, He wouldn't let my mind off of it. Because I was reading the back of my prescription. And the little bitty tab, the little bitty piece of paper that be on the box that don't nobody tear off. Maybe y'all should one day, because reading is fundamental. Please read. Please.
Right.
But it will give you a lot more of the risk and detail on what can happen to you if you don't take care of yourself. It ain't like it's just going to happen off rip.
Right.
But if you go about your whole transition, not taking care of yourself, not giving a crap, you know what I'm saying, the whole shebang, not being consistent with your testosterone, you will,
And so you take the testosterone once a day?
No, for me it's once a week.
Once a week, okay.
Yeah.
And you take it through your muscle and
through my thigh. Yep.
So do steroids provide
some of the same benefits?
Yeah, as testosterone?
It is a steroid.
So okay, this goes back to my previous question. So could you take a steroid like the ones that the bodybuilders take?
Yeah,
that's
that's pretty much like the chemical
right
that's being pumped in our bodies, but it's a different type of steroid being issued because we're trans. We're not actually trying to be bodybuilders. Right. Now, when you do that, that's something they do. I don't know much about that.
Well, I wasn't insinuating.
I
see the look. I
like that word, insinuating. But
I
think the steroids is a bit much because, looking at some of those athletes and seeing what they were on, I think that's a little different from my transman. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions? I don't know if I have any more questions. I really appreciate you coming and let them see without the hat. Without the hat. You already pulled it off.
It's kind of nappy right now. I wanted to grow it out. This is my first time having it.
They are talking about how handsome you are.
I hope I'm handsome. I'm not no cocky guy. I'm glad that I'm visually appealing.
No, he's never been with the man. He was saying that earlier.
I was gonna give you a run for your money, girl. I was gonna give you a run for your money.
Keon was trying to be with him, but he is not interested in men.
No.
Even the soft ones.
Y'all look cool though. I thank y'all for having me.
You're welcome. Yeah. I really appreciate you coming here and being open, because part of what I talk about on my live and on the podcast, I think a part of what I was called to do, I believe my life's work is to bridge communities, whether it's black and white folks, because I think the distance between us is the things that we don't talk about.
Exactly.
It's the communication, and oftentimes white folks don't ask black folks the things that they really want to know
talk about,
out of fear of offending.
Right.
But how do you really get to the answers if you don't ask the question?
Exactly.
And the same is true with gay folks or straight folks who want to know things from the trans community. And I've said that to trans people before. It's like, don't be offended just because somebody said, well, do you still have your penis? Or do you still have you removed your breast?
Right.
It's not always that they're trying to be insensitive. They really just want to know. And I think it's about bridging communities. And I think we can do a lot better with that. Again, if we're talking about black and white folks, gay and straight folks, even gay and lesbian, because there's a divide even between the gay community and the lesbian community. Because there are a lot of things that I don't know about the lesbian community. Just because, we don't really party together.
We might be in the same community.
But we don't really exist. We don't exist. So I appreciate you coming and having this conversation and being open to it.
Likewise.
So are there any other questions? Because we're going to go ahead and wrap this on out. But please go ahead and hit the share button because somebody on your timeline probably needs to hear some of this stuff.
Well,
Thank y'all for coming.
Can we follow up with you after your surgery?
Oh, yes, that would be great.
Excited about you and your surgery. So,
Well, I think that it's probably something that the God doing to put everybody together because I told Tootie I wasn't gonna make it public until the day before.
Oh, and you on here talking about it.
But that's just him doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a reason for everything. So.
No, he is not single. His girlfriend is sitting right there.
My wife is sitting right here.
Right. So they're planning on getting married.
Da da da.
Right.
It's gonna be a Gucci wedding, man. Everybody's invited. Everybody. I don't have no hate.
She is in that glass here. Are you nervous?
can you also, I know that you already touched on this in the beginning, but for the latecomers, for the late thinkers,
All right, let's do it.
they would like to know how
You're welcome,
long did
Cynthia.
it take for you to transition?
I've only been transitioning now for 2 years.
Okay.
2 years.
Yeah.
So what more? I know you're trying to wrap up, but what?
No, go ahead.
What more? I guess is there
To do.
Yeah, like besides the surgery, like with the continuation of the steroids, what more is there?
It just will be maintaining at that
I
point?
want to eventually remove all my female organs. You know, like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and get all that out of me. I want to just give it to who needs it.
Oh, to donate it?
Yeah, I don't need it.
I didn't know that they actually did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that they did that with a person who's still living. I know that if you were in a car accident and you were killed, you could donate. But I didn't know that you could. I didn't know that.
Yes, it makes sense though.
I guess it does make sense. So you could donate, like, what, your ovaries and
Eggs if you need
eggs.
them. I don't need them.
They pay good money for eggs too.
I saw like $50,000.
It's more than 50 now.
Oh wow.
I suggest.
So you would donate
you
your
invest.
eggs?
I would, yeah. Only if I could use them to get us a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not finna I ain't finna walk around with a stomach and shit like that. But nah, if like scientifically they could use my stuff and put it with hers and make it look like our little son or our little daughter, then that's great.
So it's called a living donor. See, that's why I say good day thinkers, thought leaders, progressives. We got some smart people watching us.
Yeah, I'm glad. Let's see.
So it's called a living donor. I didn't know that. Look at that.
I know on your license they put, if you...
Yeah.
You know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any more questions?
No.
I do. I have one.
Go ahead.
So I know that you were saying that you wanted to use your dad's sperm.
Right.
So in the event that because I know y'all not talking, so in the event that he's like, no,
You want to know what the plan was?
What's plan B?
Well, we haven't got to that part, man. I don't have an answer for that. If we just cannot have a kid from a male sperm, then if you're open to adopting, because it's always somebody out there.
Yes, it is.
I really want to. I got some questions for you. Okay, now I know you get her a release form over there, please, out of that drawer over there. So let me ask you this. So, what has your experience been like? Slide over to the mic. They ain't gonna see you. What has your experience been like dating a trans person? Like, I mean, I know you said you never imagined dating a woman, let alone a trans person. So, like, you're gonna initial at the top, print down here, and sign down here at the bottom. So, I mean, has this been like your best relationship? Has it been your most challenging relationship?
It's been the best. It's challenging too.
What are some of the challenges?
She can't
That
stop.
right. Scoot it over there. Yeah.
We got to get the mic over there to her.
Mood swings sometimes.
And do you think it's because of? I'm asking you. Do you think it's because of the chemical stuff, the testosterone and that kind of
when
thing?
he haven't had it, then he have his little moments. I have to, be there for him.
So, so what kind of mood swings are they? Like, what are they? He's snappy, cranky, crabby.
Just a little irritated.
Maybe
nothing,
the crabby.
not
Crabby.
Not that we can't.
Yeah, I get crabby when I'm sleepy and when I'm hungry.
I know how to
He's
get
always
him
crabby.
right.
You need a Snickers?
I need something. Like when I'm crabby.
I know how to get him right. He be good.
Okay. Oh. So, So were you? Let me ask this: were you nervous like the first time y'all were intimate?
Yes, she was.
No, she was about to lie.
Really?
Let me pull the mic over here because you
Really?
ain't even. Well, so she was
We was
nervous.
getting
I
to
know
know
she
each
was.
other, you know.
You were what?
That's what I had told you verbatim. Yeah,
What?
we getting to know each other. Right before I was about to go down, that's what I told her verbatim.
Oh, you was getting to know of the biblical.
I'm looking you dead in your eyes. I'm telling you, that's what
That's
I
why I just
said.
said we was getting to know each other.
So,
that's
so,
how-
That's
so,
been our little thing.
so you don't think you were nervous? He thinks you were, but you don't think you were nervous.
I was with it. Of course, I was nervous this first time, but I was
Mm-hmm.
with it.
So, was there a point mentally where you felt like I'm a lesbian? Because at this point, he was a
still don't
stud.
consider myself that because I still look at him as a man. That's my
Absolutely.
man.
Okay.
Right
I'm
on.
just curious. I just want to know because I know the first time a guy kissed me, I was like,
I still didn't even look at it like I was kissing a girl.
right.
All I seen was male.
Yeah.
But did you have any reservations in the beginning?
What you mean?
Like when he first told you, well he was a stud, so
I
you
told
knew.
him I wasn't gay in the
She
beginning.
showed it.
I
But that didn't stop
Because
you.
he told
Cause I
me,
told
like,
I had my
I'm a
mind
stud,
on
you
her.
know?
It was no other girl in there that was
I asked him
doing
straight
that.
up.
Let me ask you this.
Look,
Why
I
you-
asked,
Go
I
ahead.
asked him straight up, you think I'm gay? Just
She
like
did in
that.
the text.
And what
And
you
I
say?
said, he said probably a little bi or something like that. And I was like, well, I'm not gay.
She did. She shut a nigga down, bro. But I didn't care because I already know I was gonna see her at work. I already know the schedule.
So she was working there or she was a customer?
She
I
was
a
working.
hostess.
Oh, so you were working there too. Okay.
I was at the bar backing. So I had a lot of, mainstream forefront people dealing with customers, giving them good experiences and all that.
The lady does not want to be on the camera. She doesn't want to be on the camera.
She not ready, baby.
Okay, so let me ask.
My baby ready.
So once you started having conversations with her, because she was a stud at this point, did you ever wonder like, well, what am I going to tell my friends? Or what am I going to tell my family?
Not
Like,
at all.
you
'Cause
never thought about that?
Nope. Mother's Day was around the corner. I brought my mama up to TGI Friday to
Why?
have dinner. And I was like, Mama, this my friend Dream. And my
Did
mom
you-
was like,
I have a question.
my
too.
mom was like, what do I meet her for? Like, that must be a little girlfriend or something. That's
what your
my
mama said?
She sure did. She did. And I had to come over there with the food. I had to bring some to the table.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I gotta go over there and bring them that shit.
But we were still kind of friends then. He was taking me to work and stuff then.
I hadn't put it on it yet.
So how long did y'all date before you put it on her?
We didn't really like.
Is she fast?
No, that's what made me attracted to her.
Oh.
Cause I had been working at TGI Fridays for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I know a lot of people in there.
So did you have any reservation that you'd be able to get her? 'Cause
Yeah, yes, I did. I
You-
know I was. Yeah, I was at in the kitchen, man, at TGI Fridays. It was a boy working in there, and I'm not gonna say his name, but anyway, we standing there. He's
I mean, you
like
just said everybody else's name.
Malachi.
That's
That's my homie.
for you to...
He's still my homie now.
Go ahead.
But anyway, man, good guy. Back then, he was trying to spit game, and he said out loud that he was like, "Man, I'm gonna get her, man."
Oh, so
And
he was interested.
He was very interested. Malachi was. He was trying to put the game on strong because she was fresh. She was one of the newest people coming in the restaurant.
And he's born male.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I was just listening to him like, all right, Malachi, whatever, bro, whatever. Knowing that I'm gonna really get that ass. So I got over there. She was standing just like it was yesterday. She was standing at the hostess stand, and I'm standing right on.
Why is
beside
this
her.
all going on at TGIF is what I'm trying to figure out. That's why your
why the
food
service
come out
so
late.
slow.
That's why the
Right.
service so goddamn slow. Y'all in there playing
Exactly. They
matchmaker.
had so much.
The food come out cold. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you ain't lying. But she was standing at the hostess stand, and I just took the initiative to say, "Can I text you sometime?"
You said that to her.
Yeah, I did. I got tired of trying to like beat around the bush. I wasn't scared of her. It was just waiting on the right time.
Right.
I already knew everybody else was looking at her, but I still didn't give a damn.
So now, how long did it take for you to?
What, put it on her?
Mm-hmm.
It was like what, almost a month and some change.
Y'all know he always in somebody's sexual business.
Now is that a question? Are y'all
No, I'm
asking
talking
how
about
long
him.
it took
I'm
to take it?
I'm
to
talking
make
to
a
the
title?
pen pal.
Or
No,
y'all
I was
asking-
wondering how long it
It
took
took
you.
the fuck.
Yeah.
Not long, but she wasn't easy though.
Right.
Because I still had to pace myself and
Right.
realize, this is somebody that don't really know.
So were you nervous? Because you've been with a woman that had never been with a lesbian before?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so you weren't nervous in that
Right, I
respect.
already know what's going on. But
So
I
how
just
long did
know
it
that
take
she
you
was
to get
different,
used to,
and she's
to
tender.
the physical change?
And
Keon, there's two questions. You can't.
Oh, I'm
People
sorry.
listening. Go ahead. Wait. Say
Whoa.
that again.
I said that when I, was putting it on you that I want to fuck, I know I had to be tender. I couldn't just rush on you because you
Right.
probably weren't with it. So I already know she fresh. So you just gotta go slow, bro. That's it.
So Keon, what was your question?
So my question was to Tootie, how long did it take you to get accustomed to the physical change?
Pass me her release form, please.
Go ahead.
Let's put
The
this
new
away.
change,
Yes, the new change, because you were so used to seeing the stud.
I was excited. I told him when I seen his first little line coming
When
in.
his-
on
when his
bed.
facial-
I
yeah.
took the first picture when it was coming in.
Oh yes, she was.
So I was excited.
Now,
I was ready to see his change.
do you all ever feel compelled to have to explain to people, like when people meet you for the first time?
Mm-mm.
They see
Cause
male and female.
Right. But
No.
you don't ever feel like you got to explain. Oh well,
when people see us, man, just like regular people, man. If anything, they give her more good energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We went skating one time, and these group of women walked up and was like, "Girl, you fine." They was just like the whole Coke bottle, and that's just everywhere we go.
They saying that to you.
no, saying it to Tootie.
Oh, women were saying that to her.
Yes. Just like girls, and they walking up, they clicked up, and they like, "Man, you bad." They just giving her compliments. So it's just like we regular people. We don't have to explain ourselves.
I have another question. Have you ever been hit on by a gay male?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trying to shoot your shot over
No,
there.
I'm not. I just want to
Look
know.
that way.
I was
He
in-
got a tattoo on his neck that says King.
King. No, I just want to know
That's
because
me.
girl, I seen a man. That's what
Okay,
I
so
seen.
go ahead. So you had a gay guy try to talk to you, and what happened? Because I'm telling you, it's in your eyes. You look like a gay boy.
Yeah.
It's just because I got long eyelashes.
Mhm.
That's all it is. But I'm in JC Penney.
They'll be like, yo, you got a fat ass. Yo, you got a fat ass.
Man, all right, but I was in JC Penney and there was an elevator and he was just like, "You right." So I'm looking like, who the fuck? Where the girl at?
He was trying to suck your dick in the elevator.
Probably was, but I'm looking around trying to see who he talking about, who right. And he talking about me because wasn't nobody else out there.
And what you
And
doing?
I'm just like, bro, go ahead on. And I just walked away. I didn't give him no mean demeanor or make him feel no type of way. Like, just, nah.
And he didn't say nothing else? Like, yo, let me get your number.
Nah, he didn't say nothing else. He just got on the elevator.
So, have you ever been in a position where the two of you have been someplace and maybe a guy tried to talk to her or something and you had to assert yourself? Have you ever been in a position like that?
Man, all the time.
Really?
All the time. But I try to make sure that I present myself as respectful as I can to the next man because I already know they gonna try. Men gonna say what they want to say. We're gonna look, but some men they want to touch. Some men they want to exceed what
Right.
they really are gonna do. So when they try, I just be like, "Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? She with me." I try to at least give them an action before I had to say something to you. Because when I had to say something to you, then when I be mad. Because I don't like to get like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, last time, man, and that shit even happened to my sister. She put me out on Facebook. I guess I was being too protective. But I thought I was being as nice as I could be. Like, yeah. Anyway, when they try to talk to her, perfect example. I remember being at the bar. Back at the mill.
In D.C.?
Nah.
Oh.
Evansville.
Oh.
At the little
Well, there's a club in D.C. called The Mill.
He has already said he's from East Atlanta. I need you to.
Well, I'm not trying to relegate him to Atlanta. He could be somewhere in D.C.
I'm gonna stop talking so much, but anyway, man, he came into the bar and she was sitting right there because she was waiting on me. She just come into the restaurant, order her a drink. She don't bother me. He was trying to holler at him, and I'm trying to serve him. So I'm like, "Hey, bro, that's me right there. What you drinking?" Plain and simple as that. And when I said that to him, he just kind of like, "All right."
Right.
So, Tootie, do you ever feel like guys are more aggressive towards you when you tell them that you're taking?
No, because I already had that look like, don't talk to me. Off real. That's me.
That's love. The man's automatically there.
You be looking at me?
So had you been in love before? Before her?
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I have.
Was it puppy love or was it love?
Because you were only 28.
Man, that was crazy love, man. That shit. It was crazy love. It was love, but it was unhealthy.
Right.
So now that I got older, I'm still young, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that was real love, what I was going through. Because if it was, she wouldn't be here.
Because you'd be still there.
I'm still there. Or that person would still be here.
Well, we definitely have to do a follow-up if you're open to it. Like, once you do your surgery on December 4th, we come back. I'm going to get your information so I ain't got to go through Keon unreliable ass. But, no, just playing. But,
so you trying to hide my cousin?
Right. But,
you can't have his number.
Right.
Y'all are crazy.
But listen, thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank
and
y'all.
I will let you know when the podcast drops. Again, it drops in Apple Pod. What kind of phone y'all got?
Apple.
Okay, yeah, it'll be an Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, all those places.
Yes, you get a flyer.
Yes. So listen, thank you for listening to this podcast. If this is your first time, please hit the subscribe or share button. We're available here each and every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just hit the subscribe button. You always get the new show. All right, be safe. Keep loving yourself.
All right.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was really good. Wait till the people who don't come on this Facebook Live hear this podcast.
I can't wait. I don't even know who you are, but I'm just so like, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be really good. I mean, but I really do want to follow up because I think that because there are people whose parents probably. Can you please stand up? They're asking you to stand up. They are so up.
Stand up.
They trying to see your build.
Oh, my build? All right. What y'all want to see? My arms or something?
How tall are you?
I guess I'm like 5'6". I ain't like built or nothing like that. I'm still kind of chubby.
They just wanted to see if you had a print. That's
my dick? Nah. Nah. I don't have no thing on today. For those who are interested, you can wear what you want to wear, but I'm good. Because of how my testosterone has built me, I'm alright. She feels me. I can literally stick my shit in her pussy.
Oh, you can what? Say it again to me.
I can stick my shit in her pussy.
Well, you know, Alicia was asking about y'all sex. Like,
Right.
we're not going to have no porn going on.
Now that we got recording,
You done got a few of them moist saying that. They tell me he cute.
I'm going to have surgery, so
that's right.
pretty soon I just want to get back into boxing, get my body back, healthy and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Get some more tattoos. Do some live painting. Like, that's really who I'm just a nerd at heart, man. I'm not no cocky person. I love being around good energy, good people. Mm-hmm. If you're doing something with your life, that's great. I want to be around it. I want to see people doing good. I want to see you doing better than just sitting at home. You know what I'm saying? Be somebody. Do something. Motivate somebody. Stop hating.
They say he definitely a man for sure.
Yeah, man. Just do you at the end of the day.
Oh, my. Well, listen. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 p.m., same bad station.
Tune in, y'all. Tune in. I hope y'all enjoyed today.
Yes, this was good. But this is what I was going to say. I think it's important to have these conversations because, again, like I mentioned earlier, there's a woman in here who is in New York who has a trans son. You know what I mean? And so I think that there may be other people who have kids or family members and they may not understand and they might hear something and...
Yeah, we could be that platform to engage people and let them know what's going on. I was telling my wife here, I want to I did create my YouTube channel, but I want to go full throttle with it and make videos and give people they shine. They can come on my thing and answer questions.
And even if you use it to talk about your process,
right? It helps.
The testosterone, the top surgery, just all of that kind of stuff.
All that stuff, man.
You would definitely get an audience.
Trying to motivate people, man. That's all I'm about.
Well, listen, he has 3 books. And the only way he can continue to do these interviews like this is if you all continue to support these books.
All right.
One is $20, 2 $36, 3 $54. The first two are about my life. The third book is a book of quotes. It's relationship quotes, encouragement quotes, and wisdom quotes. Thank you for being here. You don't have to purchase them through me, but if you want to, you can support them through me. The Cash App ID is The Writer. Somebody please pin it down there for me. One book is $20, 2 $36, 3 $54. Cash App me, inbox me your shipping address, and I will sign them and ship them to you. But you can also go through Amazon, or you can buy them, download them on Audible, the first two, or you can download any of them on any e-reader, iBooks, Kindle, Nook, any device. All right? See you tomorrow, 9 p.m. Bye.